Alright everybody, welcome back to another match preview. This one is for Watford versus Sunderland. We're taking so many match previews, it's unbelievable at the minute. Quickly, the score predictions. There's three people who got this one right who predicted 3-0, believe it or not. It's our mate Stephen, Janice Gregory, congratulations, Ian Curry and Jacques SAFC. If you want to get involved, leave a comment below and we'll mention you in the next match preview. Right, we've never done this for absolutely years on a preview, but considering Jack Clark scored that goal last night.
Nicely played by Sunderland. Neil looking for Clark. It's a lovely ball. It's a super goal.
If you didn't like the video for us, like it for him. We've got a like target on this one. Stephen, what do you reckon for this like target?
175.
Oh, right.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. So there you go, and that's the target. Right, moving on to Watford. They finished 19th in the Premier League last season, losing 8 of the last 10. They've started well in the Championship in the first 3. They beat Burnley and they beat top of the league Sheffield United. But since then, Stephen,
they've only won one game.
They've only won one game.
They've only won one since then. They've drew 4 games and they've only lost twice this season, but they've drew 4 and they've won 3. Let's be honest, they're still a Premier League team. They've kept a lot of the players from the Premier League last season. Although they had a dismal season last season in the Premiership, but they have kept some of the players which are, well, you know, the good performers and the capable of things. They haven't really hit the ground running so far this season, but like I said, they've lost less games than what we have. Right. But like I said, they seem to be doing a Sunderland off the last few seasons where we kind of quite finish the games off and we end up drawing them. But they're still going to be up there around about the end of the season. I think they'll still be amongst the favourites for the automatics at the end of the season, because they're a bit of a yo-yo club. They're up and down, same as like Norwich and your Fulhams. But it's not going to be an easy game by any means.
Well, they said the same thing about Reading, Stephen, didn't we? Reading were very unimpressed with them. The way their game plan was just to sit off us, and it just didn't work. They didn't create much going forward either, did they?
But like I said, I mean, I'd like to think the reason why they looked so bad is because we made them look so bad. Oh, we had a high intensity where we pressed them well, we pressed them high up, and some of our passing last night was tremendous. And it made it hard for any team. It would have made it last night hard for any team to come up against us. So you've got to give credit where credit's due with the Sunderland players and Pep Mobriola's
I like it.
Pep Mobriola's tactics, because they worked a treat. They've got João Pedro. He was heavily linked with leaving them in the summer, but it never actually happened. So was Ismail Assar. Both of them have got 2 goals each and 2 assists. If you remember, Sar's the one that scored the goal from inside his own half against West Brom early in the season.
And then he scored Mr. Penalty.
Yeah,
in the same game.
They are 2 very good players and they're very capable. I mean, Sar got 13 goals in the Premier League last season in a relegated team, so that is still impressive.
Some good doing.
Yeah, you've got Vakun Isof Bio. He's popped up with 2 goals as well. Tom Cleverley, a name that's very known around the football world because he used to play at Man United. He's hit and miss, never really reached his potential of what everyone expected to. He's not great, he's not special, but he does have his moments where he's either brilliant or he's just hit and miss, you know what I mean? They've got Ken Sema. He seems to be he's a big unit in the centre of midfield. He's bigger than me, so he must be massive. Isn't that right, Paul?
Definitely.
He's popped up with 3 assists and a goal for himself this season. But the one that I think we could look at exploiting, they've got Hussein Kamara. He's a left back. He's already had 2 yellow cards and a red card this season. From what I've gathered, he's a bit of a hothead. Now he's going to be coming up against Roberts. Now Roberts will be full of confidence. I mean, he's fast, he's skillful, and he's full of confidence, especially after last night's performance. So hopefully he'll give Kamara the freaking time of his life, and he'll either get frustrated, make mistakes, and then we can exploit on that.
Last night, for me, it felt as if it was like a coming of age with all the young players. They've had the experience in League One. It was a hard league for them to get experience in, really, where they kick each other all over. And I thought last night, some of the play what we done last night, it was like Premier League-esque. Some of it
was,
especially that goal for Clark.
With Paul Ince. Did you see what Paul Ince said after the game?
We played like Barcelona.
It was like playing like Barcelona. You know what I mean? I think that's a bit of an insult to the Sunderland team myself. I think Barcelona will be lucky to play like Sunderland.
He's still witty, even though he's poorly. And the reason why he's standing off is because he's got a bit of a man flu.
I've got COVID. I'm
got
COVIDed up.
COVID.
I'm freaking so on that bad news. Unless I can miraculously recovery and test negative, Paul will be on his own with the live stream.
No,
Live stream. I'm
stream.
freaking ill. Those of you who watched the live stream last night, you can tell I wasn't well.
No.
And I haven't slept last night, and I'm absolutely dying here.
So, yeah, you've got to give him credit for coming out digging this at the minute. But listen, like I said, we were playing last night. Some of our play was outstanding. I thought Clark was mint. Dan Neil, that ball to Clark. Well, at first we thought it was Roberts. It was Dan Neil. What a ball! First time pass, and then there was Clark. Clark showed a load of composure to bring the ball under control, get it round the defender, and then pull it away. And then Roberts' 2 goal, composure again. He just looked cool, calm, puts it away, and we beat them 3-0. And that was when Sims went off.
But with Clark's goal that you've mentioned there, I mean, if Liverpool or Man City scored that goal, the media would be freaking have a right chuffy on our. They wouldn't. They'd still be freaking ejaculating now. But because it's Sunderland in the Championship, they're not really going on about it. Sky Sports News, fair play to them. They did say they reckon it'll be up there for goal of the season. But so I've read someone else broke down the stats for that goal, and it was from the start of the play, which was from Patterson. It was 18 seconds, 8 passes, 8 players involved, and 1 moment of sheer genius. And it was just a joy to watch. It was the way we played it. We just played it with such confidence and a bit of arrogance, to be fair. With the initial flick from Neil for them to spin off and do his run, the backheel flick by Roberts, and then the lovely first time ball by Pritchard. It was just genius to watch, and credit where credit's due. That's the youth. That's what Speakman's brought in. That's Sunderland's goal, if you will, to bring in young players and exploit them because they're fast, they're hungry, they want it.
I totally agree with you. Didn't get us wrong. Speakman has done really well with these young players. These hungry, players. Some players who were on the fringe in the Premier League, like Alison with West Ham, and they were devastated that he went. And I do understand that aspect of Speakman's job. He's done amazing, but the fact of where we were short, he didn't bring in cover, and that's what he done in the League One. He did get away with it, but I just wish he brought in the cover for a striker.
But we all wish we brought in the striker. But like I said, we don't know. Behind the scenes, we might have had things in the pipeline that fell through, but at the end of the day, we needed to bring one in. I've seen loads of people panicking now, saying, it's not good. We've got 2 injured strikers, and that's it. People are going to the free transfer market, and I'm still against it.
I think we should.
He thinks we should.
There's good options out there, though, Stephen.
But is there though? Because the reason they're available on a free is because nobody wants them. So why the fuck should we take the gamble on them?
Regardless if the
I think we improvise.
We need someone in, regardless if they're good or not.
No, I think we improvise, we adapt, and we overcome, and we ride out the storm. We've got players.
Where have I heard that from?
We've got players in the army. We've got players. We've got players capable of doing it, which was proved last night. Now I know you need a natural striker up front. You do, but like someone said on the live stream last night, Man City played for 3 years without a real striker up front. Now I know we're not Man City, but they're showing that it can be done if you use the right tactics. So I've still got faith in the squad we've got. I don't want to delve into the free transfer market.
Stephen, just to interrupt there, you made a really good point last night. Yes, we'll have no striker for Watford, but then we're going to play for
2-week international break.
2-week international. Exactly. So there you go. So Sims will be back. He walked off the pitch. He celebrated with the fans, clapping them. He just hurt his big toe.
That's what it was. But he was a bit numb and he couldn't get no. To start a sprint, he couldn't get no push off because he couldn't feel his toe properly. But they reckon he's having an X-ray today. But Mo Briola is not. He doesn't seem too concerned in the interview last night.
So there you go. If we can get him back after the international break, then it'll not be too long before. Well, it will be actually for Stuart.
It'll only be a few more weeks.
A few more weeks for Stuart.
After the international break, that'll be 4 weeks he's been out.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So
what was it? 6 to 8?
6 to 8, aye.
6 to 8. So we'll only be missing him for 2 weeks. I'm sure Sims can cope for another 2 weeks.
And Paul, you mentioned him a little bit earlier because we're going on about the goal scorers, but Heley last night.
Oh my God.
Heley, I'd give him man of the match for me. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. And I was discussing with on Facebook earlier on, and they were saying now Heley was brilliant. He's going to make it hard for Cirkin to get his place back.
Well, we've got really good cover in certain places, strength in depth, but when it comes to the striker spot, we've got no one. So it'll be midfielders playing that role. Listen,
that's what it
when
is,
Sims went off, we're doing outstanding. So hopefully they can do the same against Watford, who I think's going to be there and thereabouts come the back end of the season.
Oh, definitely.
So if we can pick up, listen, we've played really good a bit against these teams. Like 10 men against Sheffield United, we were the better team until that red card. Norwich, we just couldn't seem to put the ball away.
Score.
And they went and scored. QPR, I didn't think they're going to be there and thereabouts, but we were playing really. We're 2-0 up at one point.
Oh, 2-0 up until the friggin' 86th minute.
Exactly, we should have won that game. The same against, what was it? Coventry. We dominated the first half, then we fucking fell asleep the second half. But there's things like this. We're digging our rank in the Championship up there now, and I think we will put in a good performance again against Watford.
Also, what's worth a mention, although they came on late, but Amad Diallo and Geeson Bennett came on last night for the last 10 minutes. And Geeson Bennett, he looked like he was fast as fuck. He was rapid and he had a great first touch. Amad Diallo set up Clark, Andy set up Bennett, so he's, to be fair, Clark should have done better for his chance. Bennett, there was a good save by the keeper. Aye. But if that's what we're coming off the bench, that's the calibre of the youngsters that we've brought in, with a vision of trying to create things and then the hunger and the speed to get forward and try and get them goals. I think we're going to do all right. We're going to be all right, and as long as these players get brought on correctly, which Mowbray has got a history of doing.
He works with the young players.
He works well with the young players. Well. So I think seeing them come on, giving them, it was a bit of a cameo appearance, but I thought it was really good.
No, I tell you what,
I want to apologise. And Paul would probably agree with us here.
Wow.
Yesterday when Sims went off and we seen Embleton was coming on, we weren't happy. No. We were thinking, what's he doing, man? We've got Diallo, we've got Bennett, we need a striker on the pitch, and they brought Embleton on. And within 3 minutes of him being on the pitch, he had 2 assists for both of Robertson's goals, and he friggin' ran that midfield alongside Corey Evans.
We had humble pie there, like did
but did I? So in the words of Baby's dad off Dirty Dancing, when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong.
Aye, well, we were wrong.
Well played, Ellie Embo.
Well done, lad.
And we apologise.
Well, we weren't giving him it. We just
didn't understand why he got brought on.
Aye, because we would have probably wanted him in the midfield, but he went for Pritchard up top, like as a lone.
As a false 9 type thing.
But all the team played outstanding last night. They all fought for it. Listen, against Middlesbrough, the sort of panicked. It was like a rabbit in headlights with Stuart gone off.
Yeah.
But when Sims went off, I thought, is it going to be the same? And no, they adapted and they played well. They put a shift in and we got the 3 points, which was much needed.
It was great team performance, great effort by everybody, tactics spot on, and 3 outstanding goals from 2 outstanding players, to be fair. And if we can get them to, Clark's been doing it since the start of the season.
He has.
And yesterday was the first time Roberts has really shone since the season started. Through no fault of his own, really. He got through in at last minute from against Borough, and he hasn't really featured in any other games. Nah. So that'll give him loads of confidence. And if you remember how we played at the end of last season with confidence, I'm looking forward to what is going to happen over the next few games.
Can't wait, mate. That's what I mean. It's like all these young players are starting to shine. And I did understand the mould now. Well, I did understand it anyway at the beginning of the season, but I just thought, is it too soon for these young players in the Championship? And they've proved me wrong, because these first 9 games now, is it? They've stepped up to the plate and they've been playing well. So long may it continue. Yes,
even though you tried your best on the live stream to try and get a point, you've got no chance. You predicted 1-1 on the preview, and it wasn't 1-1. So no matter what you said on Twitter before kick-off, it's a load of shit. You've got 0 points, just like me.
I wish you put a tenner on that, though.
No, you didn't. So, score prediction for the game against Watford.
Well, considering it was, I'll let you go first.
No, I went first last time.
Basti, always gets us with that. I'm going to go on Sunderland 1-0 win.
I'm going to go Sunderland and Watford 1-1.
What?
I'm going 1-1.
That's the first time he's predicted a draw.
I'm going to go 1-1.
Since he's been on
I'm expecting a very, very tough game.
Wow.
They seem to avoid defeat.
Aye.
But the way our defence is playing, I think we're quite solid. But I think going down there, they've got their fans behind them, because they should have. Well, it'll not be hard to have more fans than what Redden had last night. If they're in double figures, they've got more than what Redden had. But I just think it's going to be a very hard game. I think both teams are going to be going for it, but I think we're going to cancel each other out.
Right.
And the fact that no matter, yes, I know we did well last night, but we're not going to have a striker on the pitch. So I'm predicting a draw, and I'm going to go for 1-1.
Well, I like I say, 1-0 for me. The reason I'm being that, confidence is going to be sky high. The way they played, they've seen all that on Twitter and social media and Sky Sports. The way they're playing, that like Premier League quality they were digging last night. So obviously confidence high, and I think we will nick it 1-0.
Right, so I might say it's on Saturday. It depends if I test negative or not, but I doubt I will, because I've only just tested positive last night. I'll still be watching along, obviously, and I'll be on the chat, and I'll be chatting away with Paul. You'll definitely see Paul on Saturday. Put Watford away. Let's see what happens there.
Aye, well, Stephen, you can do the review, and anyway, so Stephen will definitely be digging the video after this.
So you will see us at some point.
So you will see him. So hit the thumbs up
and subscribe if you're new.
Away the lads.
Away, I'm going back to bed.